All right. So welcome, guys. Week 9, weekly men's Zooms. Happy 4th of July. I do definitely appreciate everybody jumping on here. Got to show up to go up. I will tell you guys, millionaires do not take time off. People that are very, very successful, the biggest CEOs in the world, do not have holidays. So awesome that you guys definitely did join us, jumped on here. Says a lot about you, says a lot about where your business is going to be going, that's for sure. If you guys do have any questions, don't ever hesitate. Drop those questions in the chat. We will make sure we get to those as well. Kind of agenda for the next couple of weeks. I'm not really too sure of who I've got on after next week. I know I've got Mike Patillo on next week, so you definitely want to be here for that one. He is our Chief Sales Officer. I know a lot of people are really, really excited about him being on. Super pumped about that. He will definitely drop some nuggets, guys. He's been in network marketing for a long time. He's got a lot of good knowledge to drop for us. And anytime you have one of those corporate figures that are pouring into us, the guys that do sit there at the top of any kind of a business, there's really not anybody that's higher than him. So other than the owner of our company. So yeah, I definitely want to make sure that we're getting as much knowledge from him. Other than that, that's definitely something we're looking forward to. I do want to start tonight kind of talking about influence a little bit, because I do have our teams have been growing rapid. Our teams are definitely growing very, very rapidly right now with everything that's kind of been going on. We did have a lot of people that kind of mass signed as well. Speaker view. We did have a lot of people that kind of ended up signing. They ended up kind of going from somebody that didn't have a lot of people on their team to now all of a sudden you've got a massive team and a massive organization underneath you. So I do want to kind of give you guys some tips as far as on how to make sure that you are maintaining these people, retaining these distributors, and making sure that you're getting the most benefit out of them. Naturally, I will tell you guys, coming from someone who does mass enroll people, you will have people in this business that are going to join and people that are going to quit. That is the nature of our business. It's going to happen. Not everybody is made for network marketing, okay? Some people cannot handle the nose. If you can't handle the nose, then guess what? You can't handle the go, and that's exactly what I'm saying. And by that, what do I mean? That means you can't handle going to the top, because people have this conception that when you get to the top, all of a sudden you're going to stop getting no's. No, it doesn't matter. The difference between us and those ambassadors here know more than us. So we have to understand that it takes on average 3 no's for 97% of network marketers before they quit and they give up. They don't want anything at all to do with this. So we've got to make sure that we are constantly pouring into our teams and we're leading by example. So I did want to go over a couple of leadership skills, some stuff that I've really personally focused on, which has led to an amazing increase in retention, especially for distributors, as well as these are things and tips that you can apply to customers as well. Really what I want to kind of talk about is the main, to me, which is probably the most crucial leadership aspect. Naturally, we always say you want to lead by example. Leading by example is huge. You should definitely be focusing on leading by example. But the biggest thing that I feel like that has helped me more than anything in growing myself as a person, away from leading by example and self-awareness, but being self-aware in the aspect of you need to be an influential person, okay? So a lot of people don't understand influence is leadership, okay? If you are not an influential person, you can still get to the top of a company. You can still get yourself to millionaire status. But that's a short-term goal. People that have influence naturally are going to grow a massive following of people that are going to go to war with them. All right. The biggest tip that I can tell you guys is, again, you have to learn to lead by example. But where does this influence come from? It comes from building relationships. It's going to come from character. It comes from knowledge. It's definitely going to come from intuition, experience, and it's going to come from your past successes and your just natural abilities of what you have. All right. Influence is probably, to me, again, the most crucial aspect of a leader, because if you don't have influence, nobody's going to believe in you. No one's going to believe in you as a person. No one's going to believe in the confidence that you portray. And you may get people that are naturally going to come to you for a short period of time, but if you don't influence them, and it more or less is a short-term goal. All right, we don't want short-term. The whole purpose of influence for us is to really, really make sure that we're focusing on long-term. We're focusing on retention, because what good is signing 10 distributors a month if 9 of them are not starting? That means you sign 1 distributor. And that's me. That's personally in my eyes. That's how I look at it. All right. That's great to say that, yeah, man, I had a month where I signed 25 distributors. Yeah, that's awesome. But how many of those distributors stayed and worked? 2. Okay, so you signed 2 distributors. There's 25 distributors doesn't mean anything to me. That's how many people are out there making an impact on other people, because that is the benefit of it. That is what's really going to say who you are. And guys, influence, literally, the people that you influence, that your organization, that is what dictates you as a person. That is who says what you are as a leader. So we have to really, really focus on like 6 or 7 different characteristics, kind of depending on what you want, how you want to look at it. But I would definitely tell you guys, leadership-wise, that's probably what's helped Natalie and I more than anything in this business. That's why I'm sure you guys have noticed. Anytime that I do these men Zooms, and I'm always asking leadership. I like to ask leadership questions. I like to know what these people are thinking, what they're doing for leadership development. Because you know what? At the end of the day, there's only so many times we're going to hear, yeah, guys, you need to go and you need to sign a distributor. You need to go sign loyal customers. You need to fill out your steps of success. And then guess what? You need to go out and you need to teach those distributors to fill out their steps of success. We know that. We're not dumbasses. We know what we need to do as far as the business goes. But how we develop ourselves as people is how it determines the rapid and how fast we're going to get to the top of where we need to go. So when it comes to identifying a real leader, the leadership is definitely going to be the classification of a leader is definitely going to follow in the followers and the people that they influence around them. So if you are not influencing the people around you, you're not a leader. You're not, okay? You're a manager. We don't want to be a manager. People leave that corporate 9-to-5 aspect, that corporate 9-to-5 world, to focus on not being managed. I don't know, Marty, what did you when you stepped into network marketing, did you step into network marketing because you wanted another manager, or because you wanted to be your own boss? I'm on mute.
All right, cool. So I mean, like a lot of
let me see if I can mute.
Oh, you're good.
I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
I still can't hear you.
Hold on. What about now?
Still can't hear you. Oh no.
Damn.
I'll tell you this. Did you step in it? Did you step out of network marketing because you wanted to be? You wanted to be your own boss, or because you wanted another boss? One. Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. Plain and simple, guys. And that's just how it is. We didn't step into this. We didn't step into this because we wanted to be managed. We didn't step into this business because we wanted someone telling us what to do. So don't tell your team what to do. Don't do it. What we need to do is we need to focus on leading by example. We need to focus on showing them what to do. Get in the trenches, because what that does is that builds trust, that builds confidence, and that's going to show loyalty. All right. So again, 7 real big tips that I personally am so huge on whenever it comes to influence. The first one is character. True leadership is always going to begin in the inner person. So if you are not a person of true character that shows their flaws more or less, that's worried about what other people think about them, that's worried about ego and whatnot, and you don't portray yourself as a real person, what actually is going to end up happening is your people are going to sense that and they're going to leave. They're not going to follow you. They're not going to go to war with you. When you take the time to actually pour into people and you show people that you're real, you'll notice that the retention rate is there so much higher. Okay. And again, the whole purpose of me telling you guys about this is because I know that we just signed distributors. For most people, signing distributors is rough. It's rough, really, really rough. And I gave a statistic earlier. I said 97% of people hear the first 3 no's. It's actually 96% of people hear the first 3 no's and they quit the business. 97% of people in network marketing never sign a distributor. Do you guys know that? That's so crazy. They can't sign 1 distributor. But then not even just that. Think about all the people. If you have enrolled some people into your organization, think about the people you've enrolled. How many of them people have actually enrolled people? It's not like, and when the people that do normally enroll people, those are the people that kind of can then fend for themselves. They know what they're doing. So we have to make sure that we're teaching people the correct ways of doing things, but we're teaching them by leading by example. Character is purely leading by example. And this kind of goes into the second thing that is so crucial to me. I think it's, again, when it comes to network marketing, it's definitely one of the most beneficial aspects of leadership and influence that there is. People ask me all the time, they say, dude, what is the key to becoming a person of influence? How do you get 100 people to jump on a live video? How do you get so many likes, so many comments? How do you get people looking forward to your content when you're posting? How are you getting people to jump on Zooms? And how are you getting people to join you in your organization? Like, how do you do that? It's influence, but it's relationship building. Relationship building is the most crucial aspect of influence, because if you're not building relationships with your team, I mean genuine relationships. Now, am I telling you to be their therapist? Fuck no. I am not telling you to be their therapist. But what am I going to tell you? If you got somebody that's going through something, you need to be there for them. You need to be there for them. We all go through stuff. We're all human. Don't shell them off. Don't shell them off, because that says something about you and about your character. You need to make sure that you're taking care of these people. You need to make sure at the same time, though, they are understanding that this is a business and we run this as a business. We're a tight-knit ship. We're a family, but we're here to make money. That's what we're here to do. We are here to make money. But character comes out with that. But building relationships, so to speak, is probably the most crucial aspect of influence. Because if you're not taking time to build influence or build relationships with not only just the people from your team, but the people that you're bringing in, and this is where it kind of goes in turn as well with cold messaging. Cold messaging doesn't lead to relationship building. There is no influence. There's no trust. There's no foundation. Okay? Now, guys, I'm going to tell you guys this straight up. You can sign 10, 15, 20 loyal customers a month, 5, 6, 8, 10 distributors a month from cold messaging. I hope if you're sending out 2, 3, 4, 500 messages a day, I hope you're signing that many people, because if not, it sounds to me like you're wasting a lot of time. But you should really, really, really think about this. If you're sending out that many messages, how do you have time to build genuine relationships with these people? Because what I've noticed is, and again, I want you guys to understand this, I used to be one of those people that would send out hundreds of messages a day. I don't hate on cold messaging because, I just despise it. I'm going to tell you guys, I hate on cold messaging because everybody that I signed, how is it if I sign 15 people in a month, 15 people don't do anything? There's no relationship. There's no trust. There's no foundation. They don't have that sense of belonging because they don't know. I don't know anything about them. The only thing they know is, hey, this guy's going to give me an opportunity to make some money. That's it. They don't know anything at all about what it is that I have to offer, who I am, my backstory, what it is, because people they buy into you based off of emotion. If they don't know anything about you, they're not buying into you. They're buying into the company. And when they buy into the company, what happens is there's no loyalty to you. They don't run an auto ship. They turn their websites off. You basically take and you're spending hours training these people. They show up for a Zoom for a week. You pour into them. You put one customer underneath them. And then right when you sign that second customer, you go to move that second customer underneath them. And what happens? They cancel their account. You don't get a fast start. You just wasted 6 hours of your time training them, 2 hours manipulating them to join your business. There's no persuasion there. There's no influence. When you build relationships, people come. Build the right kinds of relationships, and your organization will just grow through the roof. Because when you build these relationships, what happens is people don't want to leave. They don't want to shell themselves off from the relationship building itself. They don't want to do it. They want to make sure that, because you know what? This is how I always look at it. If you don't know somebody, all right, just say, for example, you had some bum on the street corner. The guy's standing there and he's handing out $20 bills. All right, he's just going to stand there and hand out $20. I wish I knew one of those bums. I'd get back in line and keep hitting it. But say you got a bum, he's standing there, he's handing out $20 bills. You don't know this guy, you don't know him for nothing. You take a $20 bill, the guy goes, hey, man, just make sure you pay me back on Friday. Are you really obligated to pay this guy back? Whereas at the same time, if it's me and I'm your best friend and I'm going, hey, bro, here's a $20 bill, and I know everything that's going on, you're more obligated to pay me back, to stick with me, to know what's going on, because you don't want to tarnish that relationship, because then you get that aspect of you're screwing me over. So when you take time to build relationships with people, you'll find that the retention goes through the roof. Okay. And your relationships grow loyalty. That is definitely something that I've learned. When you've got people that are very, very loyal to you, it's because you've built a relationship with them. I can tell you, the people that are rock stars on your team, if you're fortunate enough and you've got some people that are really, really working your business, are you not constantly in conversation with these people and knowing what's going on in their life, in their personal life? Yeah, because we built relationships with them. So that's the key, guys. You want to make sure you're building relationships. And I will tell you this, when you do focus on building relationships solemnly, I build my relationships through likes, and comments. I will not message people. I don't do it. I don't care to message people. I don't want to be if I'm going to be messaging you in Messenger, first off, you better be one of my teammates already. You better be someone that's either interested in product or that's interested in the business opportunity, and you're coming to me about it, or you've expressed interest to me. Because to me, it's not income producing to be sitting there having a conversation with somebody. No, I can sit there and I can go through one person's thread on Facebook, and I can build a conversation with 10 different people. And that's why I'm telling you guys, whenever you're doing your commenting back to people during Facebook and you're going through the news feed, write genuine comments. Because for me, I'm writing genuine comments. I'm building relationships right there on Facebook through the news feed. And then all of a sudden, people they just send me a message. Hey, bro, listen, man, I've been really, really watching you. I'm interested in joining your business. It's about business. Now, am I telling you there's nothing wrong with sending out 3, 5, 10 messages a day, talking to people about general life? Yes, you should do that. There's nothing wrong with that. There's definitely nothing wrong with that. But to send out 100 messages to people just going, hey, man, are you interested in joining my business? There's so many ways that it actually hurts you. I'm going to be doing a live video tomorrow about cold messaging and how it actually screws you up in the algorithm. I can tell whenever people cold message. I can look at their page and I can immediately tell. And they'll be like, no, I don't do it. And I'm like, yeah, you do. Because every time that you actually send a message to somebody and they read it and they don't respond, it actually kills the relationship between you guys. And now no longer they're seeing your information. They're not seeing any of your stuff in their news feed. So when people send out 500 cold messages a day, hey, there's no benefit. And I have been told by some people to go, oh, I don't believe that. I don't believe that. This person over here, this ambassador, that's all she preaches is she preaches cold messaging, and she's getting 1,000 likes on a photo. Well, she's also got a team of 10,000 people. So I would hope that she's getting 1,000 likes on a photo. Like, you go through all the people that are liking her stuff, and 998 of them are at Works Distributors. So yeah, I hope that that's what it is. She's not getting 1,000 leads. You have to make sure that you're building relationships, because when you build these relationships, again, guys, you will notice your team will go through the roof. You'll sign 3 people a month, and those 3 people will sign 3 people a month. And then before you realize it, it's everybody's filling out the steps of success, and you're in your box for diamond. And then before you realize it, you're box for triple diamond, and it just grows and grows and grows. Guys, I was a Ruby. All right. Back in, before conference, I was a Ruby. I double promoted after conference, and then and just have continued to go since then. I'm telling you guys, and I don't send out messages. I don't do it. Focus on the relationships and really, really grow with it. The next thing I want to go into is knowledge. And this is, again, being a person of influence. Whenever you're new to an organization, anytime you're new to a business, anytime you're new to having people on your squad, if you're trying to build influence, you need to make sure you're pouring into yourself as a person. You need to make sure that you're doing homework every single day. So guys, when you were in school, right, we were doing homework. We were pouring into ourselves. We were constantly getting poured into. We had a teacher mentoring us. Mentor yourself on the business, because what happens is if you don't know what you're talking about when you're talking to people about your business and about your opportunity and about how you run your business, you don't have influence. So make sure that you're pouring into yourself. Write notes. Man, I'm not even kidding you. I mean, I have a notebook that thick that I write in, and I fill it up once a month. And I literally fill up a notebook. I will sit here every single day like a high school kid going through, or a college kid writing notes. That's how I retain information. But it helps me whenever I have to talk to people, because that's how I retain information. So know how you retain your information and utilize it and do it. New environments are always going to bring new questions. So anytime that you're talking to a new group of people, you're always going to get asked a new question. You want to make sure that you know how to answer those questions properly. And the only way that's going to come is by naturally being educated. So you got to educate yourself. Educate yourself on the products, educate yourself on the business, on the compensation plan. Now, am I telling you if you're not a green personality, if you're not familiarized with the personalities, definitely do your personality test. It's huge. And again, if you guys have any questions, drop those in the chat. I'll make sure I answer them at the end. But you need to make sure that you educate yourself on the business and what we have to offer. Because if somebody asks you a question and you don't know how to answer it, okay, you should know how to answer 99% of the questions. Every now and then you're going to have that one random dude that asks you something completely bizarre and off the wall, and you're like, bro, really? Like, what are you talking about? Like, are you making stuff up? Like, he's over here confusing you. You don't even know what's going on. You know everything that's going on. So that's going to happen. But educate yourself as much as you can about the business, because then when you're talking to people, you sound educated and you'll influence them every single time. Intuition. This one is so huge. I will tell you, this is probably one of my, next to relationship building, intuition is probably the biggest tool for influence. When you are an intuitive person, you naturally just know when you're going into a bad decision. You know how to steer your organization away from bad decisions just because you get a vibe. All right. And more or less it is vibe feeling, but a lot of it is based off of emotion. You know, a lot of it comes from energy. A lot of it comes from morale. A lot of it comes from timing. And a lot of it comes from a shift in momentum. So you don't want to jeopardize the momentum of your team by going in the wrong direction. That's an intuition. Intuition is not something that can be taught. It is something that is learned through experience. It is something that you're going to have to make mistakes, and you have to be perfectly comfortable with making mistakes. I'm going to tell you guys this. Boy, straight up, y'all want to know, I have fucked up more in this business than probably y'all could even imagine. So many times it has happened. I am far from perfect, let me tell you. But I am here to help you guys in the aspect so that way you guys don't go down the same path and make some of the decisions that I made. We're here to cut the learning curve. So the intuition is there. The intuition now kicks in because whenever I get sensed with a similar situation on whether it's a distributor or somebody that's over here talking, I mean, and again, guys, it does. It comes from experience. You have certain red flags, so to speak, is what I like to call it, that when somebody in your business, your organization, a customer, they mention it, they talk about it, it just naturally steers you the other way because you're like, nah, I'm not going to go that. I'm not going to spend my time with this person because, you know, they're going to quit. I already know they're going to quit. And guess what happens? Literally what happens 100% of the time. That's what happens. Because what you'll learn is that people are very, 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 very instinctive, but we learn our behaviors from other people. So what one person does, multiple people are going to follow behind them. And they think that like they're smart because they don't know. But when you're telling me, oh, no, I'm not going to turn my auto ship on, you know what that means to me? You've quit your business. You're good. You don't want anything to do with the business because you don't believe in the business. You don't believe in the products. So you know what that means to me? Don't send me screenshots because I ain't helping you. Like, you're going to quit in a month. And every single time, that's what happens. That's just an intuitive thing for me. It happens through experience. Going into the next thing, experience, literally. Experience is going to build influence, okay? You got to learn from your mistakes. Guys, you got to learn from your mistakes. Your last mistake is your best teacher, okay? It's going to build influence because when people know and they can kind of, you can tell them about your own experiences. This is also coming with being a product of the product, okay? Talk about your experience with products. When you talk, like, people can sense my passion and my energy when I talk about these products because, God, I'm so quick to pick up a product and go, dude, I love this stuff. I use it. It's one of my favorite subs. It does this, it does this, it does this. They're not going to look at me and go, yeah, well, the stuff doesn't work. I'm going to look at them and go, really? Okay, that's perfectly fine. And I move. I don't ever get that. I never get people that tell me a product doesn't work. I don't get it. Minus the crazy 400-pound girl that eats pizza, or the girl that I don't want to call her out, but the girl that basically orders a system and then says the system doesn't work and then sends us a credit card statement and there's like 3 orders of McDonald's underneath her system order. And I'm like, yeah, I bet it doesn't work. Like, yeah, okay. Yeah, that happens. But regardless, experience is going to teach you more than it's definitely going to teach you more than anything, but it is going to help you build that influence. It's really, really going to help you focus on figuring out what you need to do. And it's going to teach you and mentor you on the right ways of doing things. Past success. Again, this is kind of going to go with the experiences. You know, all leaders are going to face obstacles, guys. I will tell you that right now. If you're not ready to handle constructive criticism, if you're not ready to handle the no's, if you're not ready to handle the haters, you are not ready to handle success, because it is going to come. It is going to come nonstop. I don't know. I mean, I can think of think of Bill Gates. How many people do you think hate Bill Gates? But the wealthiest man in the world? How many people hate Sam Walton? But he's one of the wealthiest men in the world. How many people hate Mark Zuckerberg? But the guy is one of the wealthiest people in the world. They're successful businessmen. Them guys have got more money than anything. But guess what? They still got more haters than anything. The more successful you're going to become, the more haters you're going to accumulate. That's it. It's huge. It's the honest to God's truth. So every time you take a risk and you succeed, that's what life's about. That's what's going to help. That's what is going to influence people. Okay. Your past success are what's going to set you apart and is going to help you build that influence, because you can tell people about, guys, I want to tell you something. People are going to relate to your success, or they're going to relate to your struggle before they ever relate to your success. But the fact that you can tell them about a time that you struggled, and then you're going to tell them about a time that you succeeded coming out of your struggle, that's what's going to make people connect with you. Because people don't buy out of logic. You can be the most green personality ever, and you can sit here and you can talk to me till you're blue in the face about the compensation plan and about charting and about structure and about Mark Pentecost and Pam Souter and Mike Patillo, and you can tell me about all these people in the business, and you can tell me all the craziness that goes on, and about conference, and about what we do here as a company and what we withstand in every country that we're involved in, and about all the products. But if you ain't telling me your stories and you're not making me connect with you emotionally, you're not trying to get me to connect with you, I'm not going to buy. 80% of your sales are going to come from emotion. 20% come from logic. Out of that 20% of logic, you're going to get about 50% of that is going to be based off of emotion, but it's going to go into logic. So you've got to make sure that you connect with people emotionally all the time. I have been preaching this in recent because of the success that kind of comes with influence. People really, really do. Guys, they relate to your struggle before they're going to relate to your success. I had several guys today that I was speaking with, and they're talking to me about fake it till you make it. And I'm like, well, that's kind of cool, I guess. I mean, it's got its perks, but what do you mean by that? Well, you know, some of these people that we know, they were talking about renting a mansion and going and renting some really, really high-end exotic cars. And I'm like, well, how long have you been in network marketing? Oh, 3 months. And I'm like, so are you trying to get labeled as a scam? Because, bro, if you're getting, I'm going to tell you this right now. If you're living in $1 million mansion and you're driving a Lamborghini after being with your network marketing job for 3 months, first off, I want to see the title with your name on it. And if you could provide me with that, I'll quit my business that I'm in, and I'll come join you right now. What the hell is that? Fake it till you make it, to me, is talking about what your business has done for you, what it's done for you on a reel. I'm talking about, is it picking up your grocery bills? Is it picking up you got a flat tire and all of a sudden it just put 4 new tires on your vehicle? Did it pick up your haircut and your shape up every single week? Did it pick up a new pair of Jordans for you? Did it pick up baseball tickets or your favorite sporting tickets? Or did it pick up dinner and a movie for you and your girl on Friday night? Did it pick up date night? That is in relating it that way when it's not. That is fake it till you make it. Stuff that people can relate to, because I'm going to relate. I'm going to sit back and I'm going to see you posting about how it works paid for date night. And if I'm a normal person, I'm sitting back over here. If someone that's struggling, I'm sitting back here going, damn, well, if he's getting dinner paid for and date night, like, that would be nice to go on a date night. Man, that would be nice to put 4 new tires on my truck. Man, it'd be nice to go and get a haircut whenever I want to go get a haircut, or put groceries in the house, or pay the electric bill on time every single month. I ain't got to worry about the electric company coming to turn my electricity off. That's stuff people can relate to. Again, they relate to your struggle before they relate to your success. Now, guys, one of the last thing is the ability. So the bottom line is that followers are going to do what the leader is capable of doing. So what we kind of call this is the law of the lid. Your team is never going to succeed past your leadership skills. They're just not going to. So if you want to recruit the best people for your business, you need to learn to be the best person in your business. Okay? We call it, literally, John Maxwell calls it the law of the lid. If you're a 7, you are never going to recruit an 8, a 9, or a 10. There are ways to learn how to recruit up. But the way that you learn to recruit up is by increasing your influence, increasing your confidence, and mentoring on different aspects of leadership, influence being the biggest one. But if you're a 5, I'm going to tell you this right now, guys, you're never going to recruit a 10. It's the nature of the beast. And I want to give you guys another perfect example. I will tell you off the top of my head, I can literally think of 2 ambassadors, out of everyone's stories that I know, and I've read majority of their stories, that have had someone that was on their original Ruby chart that actually made it as their presidential when they were an ambassador. So out of the 140 something ambassadors in company history that have hit ambassador, there's only been 2 of them that I know of that had one of the people from their original Ruby chart actually make it to them, and that was still on their chart as a presidential when they hit ambassador. It was basically their executive for their Ruby basically was on their chart as their presidential for their ambassador. It just doesn't happen. You have to, now this is the great thing about leadership skills. Leadership skills are developed. Okay, they do take time, but they are developed. So what we need to focus on is we need to focus on pouring into ourselves as leaders. Nonstop leadership development. That's great. You need Tony Robbins to get in your face and go, bro, you're fucking worth more than anything. Get out there and write some goals and do it. And just do it. That's great. You need him to tell you that? That's awesome. There's nothing wrong with that. That's not going to make you a better leader. That, you know what that's going to do? That's going to get you to get your lazy ass up off the couch and go to work. But you know what's going to really, really motivate you? When you got a team of people around you that are working. When you're not having to listen to Tony Robbins because your team around you is not working. And when you have a team of people around you that you're influencing them and you're pushing them and you're leading by, what happens is you start leading by example and these people start working. And that's not going to happen from listening to Tony Robbins. That's not going to happen from listening to Les Brown or Eric Thomas or some of these guys that mentor more on an inspiration or a motivational style of self-development. Okay, I don't need somebody in my face telling me that I'm worth it. I know that I'm worth it. That's not what I need. You know what I need? I need to figure out how to take a group of people and influence them to all want to become millionaires. How the hell do you do that? Because we all know that in this business, not everybody has the same goals. Not everyone has the same mindset, and not everybody has that determination to want to be an ambassador. I had a hard time understanding this. The first time I looked at that compensation plan, I'm like, damn, $600 grand, that looks pretty good to me. Who wouldn't want that money? But then when you actually start looking into it and you really start seeing, a lot of people don't want that money. Literally, a lot of people don't want that money. Guys, there's literally, I think there's only 150 ambassadors. It's like right under that in company history. A lot of people don't want that money. They realize this isn't easy work. This is work. This is a get-rich scheme, I should say, not a scam, get-rich scheme. You want to know why it's get-rich scheme? Because you can get rich in 3 years. 3 to 5 years, you can become a millionaire with this company. You can't do that shit in corporate America working 40 years. You definitely can't do that. You're going to work 40 years for somebody else to retire off of 40% of what you couldn't afford to live on in the first place. Working 3 to 5 years and doing this sounds pretty get rich to me, but people don't think about it like that. They think that get rich means, oh, I'm going to make 6 figures in 6 months and I'm going to be good to go. That's not how it works. It takes time to get there. This is a marathon. This isn't a sprint. It takes time to get there. But when you put in that work and you plant them seeds and people see the consistency, and as you continue to grow as a leader, that's when you're going to continue to get better and attract better and better and better leaders. Guys, the very first people that were on my chart whenever I went Ruby, they're not in this organization anymore. The people that were on my Emerald chart, they're not even in this organization anymore. They're not in this business. It's the nature of it. People drop off. They're going to drop off like flies. What you've got to do is focus on creating yourself and building yourself and being self-aware of what you need to do as a person and increase your influence, increase your leadership skills, because what happens is you'll start recruiting better and better and better and better and better because people see, man, this guy's sticking it out. He's sticking it out. That's what's up. That's just natural. Guy, you can't expect somebody, you're not going to expect somebody who's a millionaire to join somebody that's fresh into a company and a brand new network marketer that's never done network marketing in their life. Somebody that's successful is going to look at you and go, hey man, you know what? It's a great opportunity. Let's see how you do with it. Don't be afraid but I'm going to tell you guys this. Don't be afraid to approach those people. Don't be afraid to approach those people. You might get a lottery ticket. Someone might see the vision, because this is what you guys have to understand. Broke people are the skeptical ones that sit back and they say, yeah, bro, that's a scam. That's a pyramid scheme. Meanwhile, they're working the biggest pyramid scheme that there is in the world, corporate America. That's a scam. No, you're not going to make any money doing that. You want to know why rich people, why successful people make money and why they are rich and successful? Because they take risk on opportunity like ours, because they're risk takers. Don't be afraid to reach out to your most successful people that you know. Because by reaching out to those people, you plant a seed now. And I'm going to tell you guys this. So Todd Falcone is one of the most famous network marketers that there is as far as in network marketing. Guy's got, I think he's made like 30 or $40 million in network marketing. Great guy, very, very influential person. His name's Todd. It's spelled Todd like Falcon, but with an E on the end. Great guy. Definitely look him up. He's got a lot of awesome videos. He has a video where he talks about how he had this guy when he first started network marketing. Wanted to reach out to this guy, wanted to reach out to him, never reached out to him, okay? Had this awesome business opportunity. Knows a friend of his that gets involved in the same company, all right? A year later, a year down the road, and this guy happens to reach out to that guy that he knew that he should have reached out to, and guess what happened? That guy actually said yes to him. He said, it looks like a brilliant opportunity. I didn't even know that Todd was doing this. I never even realized it. And they're buddies. So guess what happens? That guy that was successful actually ended up making this other guy that joined the company a year after Todd millions of dollars. So Todd actually lost millions of dollars because he was scared to go up and tell this guy about his business opportunity. He let his best friend that joined a business with him a year later go to this guy that he wanted to ask about the business opportunity, and he never did. And he said, from that day on, I realized I will talk to every single person about this business. I don't care if they're a doctor, a lawyer. I don't care if they're already a multi-billionaire. I will talk to every single person about my business, because you never know who's going to be your next millionaire. You never know who's going to be your next ace, your next runner. You never know who's going to be your next ambassador. Talk to people. Recruiting successful people, guess what they do? Successful people don't hang out with losers. They hang out with other successful people. So guess what happens? You just opened up a network of people that are successful that all want to take a business opportunity because they all see the potential. And if you get one successful person, one millionaire on board, I'm going to tell you this, guys, you're going to get a bunch of them. But you know how you're going to do that? You're going to have to increase your influence. You're going to have to learn to develop into yourself. Be self-aware of what you're lacking and work on it and focus on it. And that's how it's going to happen. That's kind of what I wanted to talk about influence tonight. I feel like it's super huge. It's got a big influence, guys, on attraction marketing. It's super crucial. It's one of the most important aspects of attraction marketing, as is branding. They're super crucial. If you're not a person of influence, you're going to have a hard time branding yourself. And I always try to tell everybody, when you become a person of influence, all right, people love you. All right. People are going to buy you before they ever buy It Works. They're going to have to trust you before they ever trust to buy anything from It Works. All right. You can be the worst salesman of all time. I don't want to be a salesman. I don't try to sell product. I use product to share my results. But I was just saying, as a whole, you can be the worst salesman of all time. But if you have people that can trust you because you're a person of influence, you can literally sell them dog shit and they'll buy it. And I'm not kidding you about that. I say this all the time to people. When you become a person of influence, it doesn't matter what you're selling. It doesn't matter what your product is. It doesn't matter what company you work for. It doesn't matter, because when people buy you. They buy everything around you. It doesn't matter. So focus on developing yourself as a person of influence, and I swear you'll go to the top. John Maxwell's 21 Laws of Leadership. Learn to love the book. Learn to love the book. I've listened to it. I don't know how many. I've listened to it. Literally, I've got the audio book. I listened to. It's broke down into 10 or 12 chapters. It's like 2 laws every chapter, except for influence. Influence is its own law, and there's one other one the law of the lid. Those 2 are their own chapters. You will learn more from that book on leadership. That will then lead you into, I need to start focusing on this. It will make you self-aware of what you're lacking as a leader. Okay. I definitely did a video called Leaders versus Managers. Definitely, I would recommend everybody go watch that. It's on my YouTube page. It's on my Facebook Live. If you scroll through my videos, it will explain to you the differences between a leader and a manager. Because we are not managers, guys. Managers, they point. They rely on a system. They're going to basically go, yeah, go do that, then go do this, and then let me know what the results are. A leader is going to say, no, come on, let's go, bro. I'm going to show you real quick how to do it. Let's go do this, and then we're going to go over here. We're going to do this. We're going to come back, and we're going to check it out. And then we'll evaluate, and we'll talk about it. Learn the differences between being a manager and the differences between being a leader. And not only will you learn that you'll give yourself more time, you'll be more organized, you'll find that you don't waste as much time. Stop telling people what to do and show them what to do. Lead by example. Very, very, very big. 10:47. Perfect. I'm surprised I didn't go an hour and a half on the influence thing. I tried to really, really cut it back. I'm going to answer some questions real quick. I signed someone that says in Alabama, I'm so scared. She's so far from me, but I check on her every day. Yeah, Jeff, I mean, okay. So, guys, this is something, too, that I do want you guys to understand. So I'm telling you guys, don't really be hands-on. Not necessarily don't be hands-on, but don't be a manager. Understand this. We come from corporate America. Let's be real. Everybody here, we all come from corporate America. We all have that structure. We're embedded with that corporate America structure from the schooling system, the way the schooling system works, okay? It teaches you that when you fail at life, all right? Hey, I've got a bachelor's degree. I've got almost $50,000 in student debt. I will tell you guys I don't utilize it. I'm haven't even started paying that debt off yet. That will come in time. But the schooling system doesn't teach you entrepreneurship. It does not. It doesn't teach you that no doesn't mean not. It doesn't mean no. They don't teach you that it means not right now. They teach you that it means no. They teach you that failure means that you're not ever going to be something. When we all know that as an entrepreneur, you're going to fail over and over and over and over. You're going to fail your way to success. But that's how we are primed. So corporate people in corporate structure need management. We need direction. We growing up as kids, going through the schooling system, you needed a teacher to tell you what you needed to do. Listen, this is what we're going to do today. We're going to go over notes. They're going to help you with that. They show you leadership skills in a certain aspect, but they don't drill it into you like that. They give you requirements. Okay, guys, listen, you got until Friday to make sure that your paper gets due. If not, then you fail and you're going to fail this course. Then you're going to get held back. Whereas what it should be is it should basically be, okay, guys, you have until the end of the semester to get all this work done. If you get it done beforehand, great. If you don't, oh, well, that's what it should be. And you're not going to get punished. I'll just be honest with you. I don't care if you don't get it done. If you don't get it done, you're not going to graduate. Oh, well. And that's what it should be. They should. It's not about belittling. We as people that are coming out of that corporate structure, which we've been structured from since we were younger, we have got to learn that people that are coming from that structure, they do need to be you need to be hands-on with them from the start. Now, if you've got somebody 3 months into your business and you're still having to wipe their ass and pick up after them, you need to remove the nipple out of their mouth. You need to make sure that you're focusing on teaching them that they need to be self-sufficient. When they're asking these questions like, hey, Andy, I got a question. Where do I find what countries we deliver to? Bro, you know what you should tell them? Hey, man, listen, go to your website, andyjensen.myatworks.com, and then click up at the top there. There's a little thing. Just click on that button, and it'll show you all the countries that we deliver to. Don't answer questions that they can Google themselves and figure out the answers to, because then what you're going to find is you're going to be doing that for the rest of the time. All right? Don't answer these questions that are just so crazy and off the wall. Hey guys, what do you guys recommend? What do you guys recommend for losing weight? What do you mean, what do I recommend for losing weight? We've got a whole supplement line on losing weight. Like, that's some of these questions that people need to learn to be self-sufficient. They need to learn to do their own research. That's a leadership skill. And if you start giving into them and literally babying them, so to speak, what happens is, especially months down the road, you find that you put yourself into management mode. And when you get yourself into management mode comes from two things. One, it comes from poor retention, which again is going to come from not being a person of influence. And management mode comes from poor retention, which again, like I just said, is exactly that. That is all it is. Management mode is straight up coming from you not having people that are working and doing their jobs. That comes from poor retention. That all comes from poor retention. We've got to make sure that no matter what it is, all these people that we have signed, we become persons of influence in their lives and teach them and mentor them on how to be successful as best as possible. But you don't mentor them by giving them a to-do list every day and saying, yeah, dude, so this is what I'm doing. I'm going to go message 500 people and then go and make 10 posts today and then make sure that you add 500 people and delete 600 people. No, that's not what you do. You know what you do? You say, yeah, bro, so listen, this is what I'm doing today. I'm going to go and I'm going to make sure that I'm doing my follow-ups and I'm doing this. That's what I do on Mondays. Talk to them like show them what you're doing. Don't tell them what to do. Show them what you're doing. Because when you do that, then you don't come off as that management type. You need to make sure that they do have structure from the start. There's nothing wrong with somebody gets started of explaining things to them, of course, yes. So listen, this is how I do things. And explain it to them like that. Don't ever tell them, you need to go and do this. No, they don't need to go and do anything. You need to learn. And I had a hard time with this because when we first stepped into a leadership role, I wanted to be one of those that every day in the group chat, I was over here sending out a to-do list to people. Hey guys, you need to be sending out, you need to be doing this, you need to be doing that, you need to be doing this, do this, and then you need to do this for self-development. Guess what? None of them were doing that. And guess what? None of those people are even in the organization anymore. Maybe one or two of them. They're not. They don't want to be managed. When they've been in an organization for a little bit, you have to let people learn that they need to fail on their own. Because if they're not going to fail on their own, they're not going to be successful. And again, if they can't handle failing and then coming back to you and being like, man, you know what? That sucks. Like, I'm really discouraged. People are going to get discouraged. But you need to make sure that you know how to talk to them and get them built back up. Because, guys, we have people all the time. And I'm going to tell you this. Talking about influence again. When you have people that come to you discouraged, when you're a person of influence and you have a real relationship built with them, you can talk them from jumping off the ledge. You can talk them from jumping off that tallest building. You can say, hey, listen, come on, let's give it another shot. Let's do it this way this time. And you can show them the right ways of doing things. You have to let people fail on their own. But whenever you don't build that relationship, you know what they say? They don't say anything. They jump. So you've got to make sure that you don't let them jump, because when you become a person of influence, they know that they're going to impact and they're going to affect you with their decisions. Whereas if they don't care about you, there's no relationship built, they're not going to. They're just going to keep on moving. So definitely make sure there's nothing wrong. Jeff, there's nothing wrong with checking in with her. Girl from Alabama, check in with her. You definitely want to check in, but I will say if you're getting the cold shoulder, she's quit. If people are going to show up, they're going to show up. I'm not going to force you to do the work. I'm not going to give you, I mean, unfortunately in this business, we do give people paychecks, but I'm not going to give you a paycheck. I'm not going to do the work for you. You need to do it for yourself. And if you're, and we get people all the time to say, oh, well, I'm broke. I don't know what I'm doing. You know, I need money. Well, if you need money, then why are you working? I don't understand that. Go to work. If you need money, you're in an organization. You make money. You got wraps. Go sell wraps. Man, that has money every day. Check up on her. But if she's not answering, if she's not responding, if she's not doing anything, don't waste your time. Ronnie Brown is real big on this. If you guys don't know who Ronnie is, Ronnie just took over number 2 income earner in the company. She kind of took Denise and Brandon Walsh down from number 2. They've been number 2 underneath Stephanie and Joel for years. She just actually replaced them. She hit 2 and they went to 3. She'll be our next black diamond in our company. One of her videos, she straight up says, when people quit, I will tell you this, I don't care what people do. I mentor them from the start. I teach them how to be successful. I give them how we do things. I teach them replication and what we do. And if I've got to be messaging you going, hey girl, you didn't make a post, guess what? I'm not going to. At that point, on to the next one. When we talk about volume by numbers is very, very prominent. But volume by numbers doesn't mean you need to go out and you need to just sign people and then, okay, here you go, have fun. No. Mentor people. Be hands-on with them from the start. But if they're taking off and they're doing their own thing and they're complaining about how they don't have money, but then they're checking in at the local bar and you can see their Snapchat and they're getting messed up every night and they're going out and they're going out to eat every single night, but they're complaining about how they don't have money and they're not working the business, they've already given up. You cannot make people work in this business. You won't do it. You can't do it. You cannot motivate anybody in this business to do the work. They have to want it for themselves. And if they're broke and their bank account don't motivate them, I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. There ain't shit that's going to. I do have a question about the defining gel and tattoos. What do you tell people concerning tattoos? Directly applying it to defining gel and keep them fresh. Yeah, I just tell them. I say, yo, I take it. I rub it on. Not only is it going to – I tell people when it comes to the defining gel, what the defining gel is, it's a less concentrated version of the wrap because that's actually what it is. I don't know the exact potency of it, but it's less concentrated. It's the same, almost the exact same formulation that we do on the wraps. So it is going to tone, tighten, and firm the skin, but at the same time, it's going to brighten up tattoos as well because what it does is it nourishes the skin, and it's a skin treatment. The wraps do the same thing. So if you were to take and I was to wrap my Punisher tattoo, it would do the same thing. It would brighten it up. It definitely would. I don't know if you guys knew that. The wraps, like So the defining gel, the wraps, they actually are great at reducing the appearance on scars. So like for women that have the cesarean section cut in the bottom of their stomach, if they applied that defining gel on it over time, it'll definitely help, as well as the stretch mark cream is great at that as well. But you definitely want to make sure that you're just applying it. And I literally use it everywhere, pretty much from the neck down. I don't use it on my legs. I pretty much apply from the waist to the neck, pretty much all over. This stuff works phenomenal. Curious what happens when someone gets recruited and passes up their sponsor's rank, as rare as it may be. I've passed up my sponsor's rank. I've actually passed up majority of my sponsors' ranks. If we couldn't do that, then this would be a pyramid scam. My sponsor is, I don't even know. It's not even in the company. Yeah. Who is it?
Tiffany, her, and Alyssa Bilu.
Wait. Tiffany, her, and Alyssa Bilu.
Tiffany, her, enrolled Alyssa Bilu. Alyssa Bilu's higher paid.
Oh, okay. That's what I was like, wait, hang on. I didn't know exactly. Perfect example. They're both ambassadors. You have Tiffany Her, you have Alyssa Bilu. Alyssa Bilu is a higher income earner than Tiffany Her. Tiffany Her actually signed her. You can make more money than your ambassador. Very much so. You control your paycheck. You help other people in their aspect of their paycheck, but you control your paycheck. We have passed up several of our sponsors and our uplines, very much so. And we're going to continue to pass up our sponsors and our uplines. If you guys are familiar with a cab bonus, when you match someone that you're cabbed to, so say, for example, somebody was a double diamond whenever you signed and they were getting that double diamond cab bonus from you and you're a distributor, and you go all the way to double diamond rank and then they haven't promoted yet to double diamond, they actually lose that double diamond cab on you. So then you can continue passing them. So that's motivation to get working. That's why you do not become complacent in this business. That is the reason why you don't. You got to make sure that you're focused. You're making sure that you're growing to the top, and you can pass anybody in this business. So if you sign somebody today and you're a presidential diamond and they went ambassador tomorrow, that can happen. If that can happen, I want to sign that person, but that can definitely happen. People tell me it works as a pyramid. I always throw it right back at them. Okay, what is in a pyramid scheme? The GNC has a clerk. The clerk gets commission. Store gets cut and commission in the regional office. In case you run across it, it usually shuts down the argument real quick. So what I tell people, anytime that somebody ever tells me it's a pyramid scheme, first off, I want to tell you guys, you need to watch the Netflix documentary. I don't know exactly the name of it. It's the Herbalife documentary from Bill Ackman. Watch it. It will explain how Herbalife is a legitimate pyramid scam. Basically, a pyramid scheme, majority of their sales, more than 90% of their sales come from distributors. So their distributors are actually required to purchase the product and then distribute the products to other people, to the customers. Our company does not require us to buy the product. Yes, we do encourage you that you run an auto ship. But like Thomas Hughes said a couple of weeks ago, we have an 11-to-1 customer to distributor ratio. We are way far from the majority of our sales coming from distributors. You figure if every single It Works distributor out of the 110,000 that we're on, we're running an 80 BV auto ship. What is that? 800. I'm gonna do the math real quick for you, just that way you have it. You say we had 110,000 It Works distributors before this special. All right, we do $1 billion a year in sales. So you've got 8.8 million of that sales out of the billion is going to come from distributor auto ships. We are far from a pyramid scam. Far from a pyramid scam. We're not required to buy product. We're not required to buy stock of product. And that's one of the major differences between us and them. As far as the compensation plan goes, that's my plan too. Nice job, guys. I'm presidential now, and I have more than several ambassadors in this company. Yeah, I mean, and that's exactly what it is. Guys, I want to tell you guys this, man. Rank does not determine your bank. It definitely does not. There are ambassadors in this company that are getting paid what diamonds get paid. There are people that hit ambassador for a month that completely crumble, and they did it just for the purposes of saying that they're an ambassador. And that doesn't, I mean, that's great. Hey, that's awesome. That's still a great achievement, hitting $250,000 in BV and charting everybody on that chart. That's an awesome accomplishment. But you want to make sure that you're definitely building up the bank to go with it. You want to make sure that you're building strong. So, I mean, your rank, there's also, I think it was on the 2015 compensation report, the highest paid double diamond was making more than the highest paid triple diamond. So your rank determines a lot. Yes, it does. But your volume is what determines more than anything. You definitely want to make sure that no matter what, you're focusing on getting distributors and teaching them to get their first 4 loyal customers, and just really, really focusing on when you need it, on loyal customers as a whole. Loyal customer retention is huge. I'm telling you guys, retention as a whole is what actually was going to put you in management mode, is going to get you burnout more than anything. Burnout to me is the definition of insanity. I mean, you're doing the same work over and over and over and over and over again, and you're expecting a different result. If you're getting 20 declines a month and you're only signing 20 people a month, then you're not signing anybody. You're replacing. The next month you have 15 declines, and then this month you sign 12 distributors. You're actually more in the hole, or 12 customers. You're more in the hole. And the next month you're here. No, you want to make sure you're retaining those customers. That's going to come from influence, and that's going to come from pushing yourself and developing yourself as a leader and making sure that you're retaining these customers. Because when you do that and you focus on retention as a whole, whether it is distributors or customers, that's what's going to help your business boom. More than anything, that's what's going to help your business boom. If you guys have any other questions, my answer. Another, I've been research relief and science is a little claim that the body can reform, duplicate cartridge cells. Please, I've tried research this recently. Just wonder what replies some of us to say that.